Well, I hope we do have an intro by now, but if not, that's okay. We'll get there. We're just trying to figure it out.
Yep. I hope we have one too, to be honest.
Well, I'm Sam, so.
And I'm Miguel. And this is the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast.
There you go. I like it. See, we're getting the intro slowly.
I don't even know what. I think this is episode 14, 15?
I know it's a teen.
I think it's 14.
Okay. I think I was just showing somebody. I think the clown is 12, so I'm pretty sure this is 13.
13. Oh, spooky number 13.
Spooky 13. Do you have any idea? I mean, I'm guessing you kind of saw what I like.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I'm guessing you kind of saw?
Nope, I didn't.
No, you didn't peek at all?
Nope. Nope, you'd be so proud of me. I really wanted to, though. I really wanted to peek.
We usually record a certain night, but we're recording a night earlier.
Yeah, we are.
Usually, I wouldn't say like I'm using my work time, but, well.
So what are we talking about?
You don't have any guesses? Nothing? I did give you a hint. I did say spooky Utah.
Spooky Utah.
Yeah.
I do not have a guess. Okay. Because I guess you brought up Zion National Park, and that's all I can think of.
I did.
Like last episode, or 2 episodes ago.
Oh, I did bring it up.
Or no. It was last episode. It was the clown episode that you brought up Zion National Park. We were talking about the cursed forest.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything close to that?
No.
Okay, very cool.
That's
the way I like it.
Did you know Skinwalker Ranch is in Utah?
I did.
But you forgot.
I did, yeah. I did.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So do you know where in Utah it is?
No, I've just...
Utah is just a big old triangle with the top right-hand corner just nicked out, right?
A triangle?
That's rectangle. And then like another like little rectangles worth taken out of middle to like right or whatever, like it has that little gap missing.
They didn't want to be quite a square.
I know. I mean, Wyoming already had that, right? So can't be too
so square. Skinwalker Ranch is up there.
It's like not in the little panhandle. I mean, if you could even call it that, but it's underneath. So it's like
it's on the northeast corner.
Yeah. So if Utah was flat. Yeah, it'd be northeast corner.
Okay.
So over in that kind
of under Wyoming?
Yeah. So...
I don't even know if that's how the U.S. map is.
I'm pretty sure that's where Wyoming is. Because pretty sure it's Montana and then Wyoming. No, I think that's Montana.
Hold on. I was never really good at geography.
No, I'm trying to think.
Okay.
It's hard when you're not looking at it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Directly under Wyoming.
Okay,
we got this.
Look at you.
Yeah, we got this.
I knew all 50 states and their capitals.
At least 48 of them. What's up?
But yeah, so it's it's in Uinta Basin. Uinta Basin. Uinta. I looked it up. That's how that's like how I sounded it out, and that's how like Google had told me to say it. So
cool.
If I'm not saying it right, let me know. But either way, it's a lot of Native American lands, a lot of legends of Navajo and the Utes that are fighting against each other.
Mm-hmm.
They even say, so, obviously we got a lot of extraterrestrial thing going over there.
In Utah?
Yes. And in like Nevada and like that kind of like
I
there's
know
like
Nevada,
yeah. But there's like almost a UFO alley that extraterrestrialists call like southern Utah, like almost like what is it called? Is it Tornado Valley?
I don't think that's in Utah.
But no, like I'm saying it's the same concept. Like how you have like Tornado Valley, there's like UFO alley.
No way.
Yeah, so like where high reports I read to where like you can literally, especially those where east southern-ish area, because I would say like it's definitely more north, but the more you get into it, it kind of like over like the whole concept of so like Utah just kind of starts blending in together with that kind of stuff. But besides Salt Lake, it's like everything else. It's trying to. They say you could almost throw a rock and hit a person who has been quote unquote abducted by an alien or had an encounter with an alien
in Utah.
Yeah, which I'm like, whoa, did not know that. So I don't know why. But so obviously we're going back to Skinwalker Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a Skinwalker is?
I'm getting the goosebumps already, dude. Isn't a Skinwalker something, or like it's an entity that can change forms and shapes that like it can turn into your dog.
Yeah, which is freaky. But it says that Uinta Basin is one of the most mysterious sites in Utah. It's like a paranormal hotspot. UFOs, unknown illnesses, mysterious lights, and shapeshifters / skinwalkers.
Dad, I'm never going to Utah.
So Navajo legend, skinwalkers are evil witches that can shapeshift into animals or humans. There was hostility between the Utes and the Navajo, and the Navajo would unleash skinwalkers upon their enemies.
Damn.
The Navajo unleashed skinwalkers upon their enemies, and skinwalkers, they say, are still there because they were just like let loose and like, what do you do? Go corral them afterwards? Like, okay,
they're like,
bring it in.
Oh, jeez.
So they just say they're just out there. And I don't know if, I get on this side of TikTok sometimes, but I've like seen like
weird. Yeah.
I've seen some weird stuff. And obviously technology is really advanced, but at the same time, you can see like the fear in these people's eyes, and you're like, I believe you, you know?
That's so terrifying. So they would unleash them on their enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then after they unleash them, they're like, you know what? I cannot tame you now. So it's like when people get anacondas and let them into the Florida Everglades.
Yeah.
So like, I can't take care of you.
Don't mess with stuff bigger than you.
Yeah, dude.
Physically.
That's why I don't like horses.
Horses can be respected. And as long as you respect them.
I'm sure that's what they said about the
Also, cows kind of freak me out, though, because, they could stampede you. Cows? Isn't that what killed freaking Mufasa?
A cow?
Aren't they, like, wild cows?
Yes.
Yeah, they killed Mufasa.
I thought it was the other lion.
No. Scar is the bad one. Mufasa was the dad. He's like,
yeah, Scar killed him.
Poof. Yeah, he threw him into a stampede.
Oh. I don't remember that movie.
Oh. Traumatized, I know.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie very much, but that's pretty brutal if they do that. But I'm pretty sure cows are responsible for more deaths than sharks.
Oh, easily. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, 100%. Oh, there's also a lot more cows.
That is true.
There could be more sharks, but, like, we have a lot more cows on Earth. And there's a lot more waters that we don't populate, you know?
That is true.
But, okay. So, Skinwalker Ranch. You're saying, like, okay, what's going on with this? Well, Skinwalker Ranch is 512 acres, first off.
Okay,
it's a hefty piece of land.
It's pretty big.
The Shearmans, they're a family that bought the ranch. They bought it in 1994. They sold it 18 months later in 1996. So they barely had it for 2 years.
So are they one of the first owners?
They're one of the first owners. Like, they're the ones that bought it.
They bought that plot
That's like
of
the
land.
first, official record of that plot of land.
Okay.
And if you think about it, you're like, oh, that's not that long ago. But this side of the U.S., there's a lot of open area. There's a lot of stuff that still needs to be.
Oh, yeah.
So, that needs to be claimed or bought or whatever.
You know, like the new developments happening on the east side of Boise, kind of on the other side of the green belt.
Yeah.
Harris Ranch. Mm-hmm. That is owned by Harris, the Harris family, and he's just selling it.
Yeah.
And it's just people buying little plots of land, developers.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Well,
this dude made so much money because that is a really desired area.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I'm gonna say is like on the like space, like what am I trying to say? Not like awareness of how big this like how big the US is.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on this hole of people from either Europe or other like Europe, like where these countries you can drive at the top of the country and go back down, or go to another country and come right back within the same day. And then they book travels over here, like to Disneyland or stuff, and they're like, yeah, we're going to Disney World, but I really want to go, we're going to make it 5 days, only 3 days in Disneyland. We're going to take a day to drive out to the Grand Canyon and the Statue of Liberty, and then come back.
Oh, so
and
they
think it's small. They just thought since we like made the map that it's like how that is.
Oh, buddy.
No, it is massive. Like there's like I think it's at least 8 England. I can't remember how many Englands can fit in Texas.
Why is that a statistic?
I don't know. That's just what I saw.
How
like
many Englands?
But it's massive. Like it will take us 6 hours to get from middle-ish Idaho or south middle-ish Idaho to not even the very top of Idaho. And that's just one state.
That is true. Now imagine like Texas. You
Dude,
spend
I can't even imagine.
like going all the way across Texas. But then I guess you get to like the east side where it's super like
it's a lot more small.
It's weird like halfway into the US. On the east side, they're all weirdly shaped states, and then you get to the other side of it, and then like all of them are pretty much the same shape. Yeah. Idaho's unique.
Yeah, it is different. Yeah, Montana.
But like they're all kind of just fucking squares.
What is that? Forest or mountain ridge? There's a mountain ridge that I think it follows.
Which mountain ridge?
I don't know.
The Rockies.
I think is it the Rockies? It might be the Rockies, but I know there's a mountain ridge. I remember in 4th grade where we made our state diorama, there was like pretty much a whole mountain line that followed the edge of that kind of that weird curve of Idaho, and I'm pretty sure that's how they like
I did not know
decided that. Also, I'm pretty sure with like states, sometimes like rivers and stuff will separate them. So, but yeah. So, anyways, Sherman's bought the land. 18 months later, got rid of it. They said that there was just too much spooky going on.
Oh, God.
And the most craziest thing was their Skinwalker story.
Do so I'm gonna just it's
story? It's just a little one. It's nothing too crazy.
Oh, God, okay? I got the chills.
Terry is the man. He's the husband. He's the main. What is that? The head household. The man of the house. I don't know.
Man of the house.
But one night Terry heard a noise outside and was startled to see a wolf in his yard. One much larger than he had ever seen before. Terry grabbed his gun from inside and shot at the wolf multiple times, but his bullets appeared to do no damage. And Terry, he's a farmer. Farmers have some pretty good shots. First off, they gotta practice. I mean, what else do you do sometimes out there in the middle of nowhere? But also you have to protect your cattle. Like he had cows, he had like other animals that he had to protect, but he was missing. Or it was just not doing anything. It wasn't pure silver.
He put some salt on those rounds at all?
I know, right? But although the wolf take off eventually, the tracks disappeared entirely as Terry chased it. First off, why are you chasing it? But he
probably just thought it was a wolf, you know?
Yeah, just like, and it was like, this is my land.
But also wolves travel in packs, don't they?
Yeah. So, but it was bigger, and it just like vanished. Like it was just running and then was gone. Like nothing was there afterwards. So that's a little freaky. But they would also say there was flashing lights, mysterious objects in the sky, strange circles in their field, mysterious voices floating overhead, and countless cattle mutilations. So lots of cattle mutilations.
What?
Yeah. And it was almost, they would say it's almost surgical. Like it was not like an animal ripping it apart. It was like surgical.
There was a knife used.
Yeah. So that's a little freaky.
That's pretty spooky. Oh, I'm getting chills, dude. I don't like this.
So Bigelow,
The tea company?
yeah, it's spelled the exact same way. Robert Bigelow, he is a UFO enthusiast. He bought the land from the Shermans because Shermans, that was it. They couldn't prove anything.
Just
late
hearsay. Hearsay.
Yeah.
This family's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, dude, I'm not sleeping at night. Take it. And
He probably got a good deal. They probably just wanted to get
it. $200,000
for 512 acres.
Yes.
So it was at 1906.
This is in 1990. In 1996.
1996. That's pretty decent.
I would say that's pretty for 512 acres.
That's easy money, dude. Let's move to Utah.
This was not it wasn't like they were being extra scared. Like when this transaction happened, when they were selling the land, it was more of a just take it. Like they weren't overselling it to get more. It didn't seem vindictive that way. It seemed very
like they just wanted.
Take it. I'm done.
I don't want
to deal with it. I just wanted to settle down, have an easy life. I'm done.
I'm getting chills.
I know. But I'm going to backtrack a year. Bigelow founded the National Institution for Discovery Science.
National Institution for
Discovery it's Science. Called the NIDS. CI. Like it's like all capital letters, NIDS, and then CI is lowercase.
NIDSI?
I guess. So, Nancy?
Maybe that's what we'll call it.
Nancy?
Is there an acronym for it? Because that's a lot to say.
That's what it was. The NIDSCI.
NIDSCI?
NIDSCI? I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll just call it the Academy, I guess.
Yeah, the National Institute for Discovery of Science. The National Institution. So the institution was only around till 2004. I will just put that in there. It got disbanded at one point, but pretty much the whole thing was for UFO and paranormal discoveries. That's what that's literally what it was designed for. The NIDSCI, I don't know, the institution, they pretty much set up round the clock surveillance. They were hoping to find something. They were like, please, I need to find something.
Another wolf.
24/7. Stuff would malfunction all the time. They never got hard evidence.
Chakras.
Ever.
That's the way it works.
Never did they get evidence. The most you can find is, it's called, also, this is the longest freaking name I have ever seen. The Hunt for the Skinwalker. Science confronts the unexplained at remote ranch in Utah. That's the name.
That's quite the title.
That's the title of the thing.
That's probably why they didn't get any views. They got bored.
Well, it was 1996. They didn't know how to do that. But those are the next owners. They disbanded in 2004. They never really got much out of it. Obviously, the researchers that have come out of that have said some crazy stuff, but nothing concrete. So
that's the way it always happens with people with video cameras and high-tech equipment.
But they always are like, yeah, like magically things would just not work, or it just wouldn't pick it up. It was just random. Let me see here. The next owner, Brandon Fugel. Yeah. This was very hush-hush. They bought it in 2016 and stayed anonymous for 4 years until 2020.
So what made them become unanonymous?
Because they released a documentary with History Channel
called Skinwalker Ranch.
The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch.
Okay.
So this is pretty much how it got its name. Obviously, it was just a ranch out in Utah that some UFO guy was like, yeah, bud, I'm going to get this.
Just like that, too.
But never got the chance to find anything. So then, homeboy over here, got freaking loaded.
What's his name?
Brandon Fugal. Dude, he has a picture with Post Malone at like.
That's all I need to know.
And it's like we're not gonna post it on our social media. It has I don't even know what kind of gun. I didn't look at it, but he has a pretty big old like assault rifle kind of gun, just like with Post Malone vibing. And I don't want to get freaking reported or something.
Why would we get reported?
I don't know. Freaking say the word gun and you freaking report.
That is true. I would report you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. But it is a pretty cool picture because you're like, oh, that's Posty.
That's my boy Posty.
That's Posty right
next
there.
To a Skinwalker.
Dude, the guy. Oh my gosh, I'm not saying anything too bad, but man, he looks like he is.
Do you have a picture of him?
Here, I'll show you a picture of him. He.
Okay. Stand by. I'm gonna look at this picture and I will give you guys my immediate thoughts.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Okay. First thoughts.
It's a pretty cool pic. I mean,
it's a pretty cool pic. The guy does look pretty cool.
But he, I think, visited while they were filming or something.
Yeah. First thoughts. I would assume this dude's a sorry. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I think I was trying to say librarian. But, I bet that dude, I bet he has a balance on his library card somehow. He just looks...
I know, and I'm not trying to be like, first off judgment, but I'm like, this guy, yeah, he looks like he's pretty smart. He looks like he knows what he's doing.
Looks like a smart dude.
Yeah, but if you just look up Post Malone and Skinwalker Ranch, it pops right up.
So just to give you more of an image, he's the kind of guy that I would assume...
He's wearing a black trench coat.
Exactly. So let's say you're at the library and there's a bunch of different aisles and there's one aisle that says self-improvement / financial wellness. And you look down that aisle, that's who you see. Whoever you envision in your mind, that's what he looks like. He's the only one in that aisle.
Or the picture on the self-help book.
Or him, yeah. So
I'm not saying this,
you have an image in your mind, whoever's listening, you have an image in your mind, and that's...
Just run with it.
That's who it is.
He has thin wired glasses.
Thin wired glasses?
That's like almost see-through. But either way, Brandon Fugal, got to hang out with Posty, so I mean, I'm pretty jealous. So, but yeah, so he created this series of the Skinwalker Ranch. You can see it, you can watch it. But I'm not gonna go too much into it. There was some stuff like, I mean, you could watch it on Netflix. It's a whole series.
I don't think I watched the whole thing, but I do remember seeing...
I remember clips. But I just wish it was a little bit more crazy. Mm-hmm. But
you do and you don't, right?
I know, right?
You do and you don't.
Yeah. But just about the basin itself, Uinta Basin, it's a hotbed of paranormal activity. Okay. There's a lot of paranormal activity that happens around there. UFO Alley is, like I said, what it's kind of...
So that UFO Alley, sorry, back on this. It starts in southern Nevada, kind of right at the tip of the peninsula. Yeah. And it goes kind of up and around. It goes straight Utah. Through the middle of Nevada, I'm assuming, and it bounces off to the right, off to the northeast corner of Utah, going into Wyoming.
And I don't know if it goes to Wyoming. So
it just starts, it makes like a slight curve. Yeah,
it's just kind of a slight curve, and it's just...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't there just a lot of just flat desert there, though?
There is. And there's theories on that. I didn't pull up... I wonder if I did keep all the theories.
So I don't want to pull you away from what you're talking about.
No. I will tell you, because the other thing was geophysical processes is causing your brain to hallucinate is like what people think that it could be.
Geophysical processes?
Yeah.
Processing?
So it says hold onto your brain, protecting tinfoil hats for this one. It's a doozy. Developed by neuroscientist Michael Persinger, this theory posts that geophysical forces in the tectonic
Yep.
shifts, activities in geomagnetic fields and other things may affect the part of the brain that involves hallucinations. Under the reasoning that every people experience at Skinwalker Ranch is they think that it's because of the area that these UFOs, shapeshifters, portals, witnessing is all to the local environment with the tectonic plates, magnetic fields, things like that, and it affects the hallucination part of your brain. So I don't know if
you know the answer. Is there any studies on that?
I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says it's pretty out there, but this is a theory.
But so magnetic fields, magnetic fields are everywhere. Exactly. That's what causes electric motors in your furnace to work. Mm-hmm. It creates a magnetic field.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now. It might be on a much bigger scale. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it could be. I have no idea, but
we can build an electromagnet.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, that you can cause hallucinations, people would be getting high off of it.
This is geomagnetic fields. So this is natural magnetic fields that naturally occur on the Earth. And
it just does something to your brain, supposedly?
It can mess with your brain, apparently. I have no idea. I think that there's also a lot of history maybe around there. That it could be something else.
Okay, so that's a theory. That's just a theory.
That's a theory. There is 3 other theories. People are lying to get money. That's obviously.
That's a go-to.
Extraterrestrial.
Another go-to.
That's why they're saying it could be a creature. It could be something that's not from this world.
That's
doing that.
I don't give that any credit.
And then another one is that you're almost in a parallel universe.
So it's a place where universes collide.
Yeah. So it's an interdimensional gateway.
Out of all those,
I feel like that's kind of a stretch for that one.
Out of all those, I give the first one more plausibility.
I know. You would think it's, if anything,
if those are the 4 theories, I'm gonna go with that one, the electromagnetic field.
Yeah. So it's just
But I really want to say aliens.
Well. If anything, I would even say it's more of maybe even a spiritual thing. I mean, deserts, hallucinations, lack of water.
But I'm assuming there's a house there.
Yeah, it's nothing anymore.
Oh, it's completely abandoned? Mm-hmm. Because of the spookiness?
Yeah, everything's just abandoned. They've just all set up stuff around and then we'll camp.
Oh, geez.
It's not like a house or anything right now.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought there was a house there.
There is a house, but it's not livable.
It's just so abandoned.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because skinwalkers took it over.
Dude, they can have it. But there's there's a show that's also called The Hunt for the Skinwalker. They in that source they say that in 1776 a France missionary wrote about a string of fireballs over El Rey, which is in that same area. And then also March 12th of 1997, this guy Kellner saw a large creature spying on them from a tree. It was 50 yards away and 20 feet up in the tree.
That is horrifying.
Yeah. That's a little spooky.
The mental image of that?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even want to see it.
That is horrifying. Yeah.
That is what I have. But this has been really fun to find some first-hand encounters and read them to you.
Okay. More first-hand accounts.
I don't know how many you want to hear, but I got a couple.
I'm ready to hear all of them.
Okay.
Unless the first one's really spooky.
Okay, well, I'll read this first one. So this is let me get a little sip. Cleanse the palate. Okay. The title, you're gonna love this. They ran away on their back legs.
Okay.
So this happened about 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. My family owns a farm in the heart of an Indian reservation. One winter, I was home for Christmas, taking care of the farm while my parents were away Christmas shopping. as I was home alone, it was way late in the night, and I hear all of the cows freaking out.
Don't you?
Which is great. Yeah.
Lock your doors.
I knew it had to have been wild dogs. They have really taken over the area, so I threw on some boots, grabbed a shotgun, loaded it up, went out to the field.
That's what I'm talking about. I like this already.
This was a perfect horror movie scenario. It was cloudy. It was a full moon. It was breaking through the clouds just perfectly, and it was lighting up the snow.
Okay, so
and I will say real quick, these are not all from Skinwalker Ranch. These are just Skinwalker stories.
So are these verified?
These are first-hand accounts of people who have encountered skinwalkers, they believe.
So it's not necessarily real. No. I'm just going to live in that world.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean that it's real. What I have seen a big correlation is lots of them happen on reservations. So, but skinwalkers are technically like linked to
the Navajo, right?
Yeah, so that could be why. Anyways, I ran out into the middle of the field, and there was just 2 dogs at the time. They were standing up, facing each other and fighting. Which, I think, 2 for the price of 1. So I pumped the shell of his 12 gauge, and then it happened. The 2 dogs heard the shot. They both stopped, looked over at me, and ran away on their back legs.
I hate that.
I immediately froze, and every ghost story about skinwalkers and all of the native legends I grew up with flooded my mind.
Oh, fuck.
And these were just all boogeyman stories to the native kids. And
I got so many goosebumps, bro.
Yeah.
That is
and
horrifying. That
night, they became real to me.
That is horrifying.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that. Just flat out, I hate it.
I like that one. I like that you get all spooked. Okay. This is On the Reservation Alone at Night. That's the name. My uncle and my cousin saw a large deer on the side of the road. When they got closer to it, it hopped over the fence like a bipedal man. So, like, jumped over the fence. Like they saw it on the side of the road, but then...
What was it?
A deer. A large deer. But then all of a sudden it, like, got up and, like, jumped like a man.
Okay.
One time I was driving back from Gallup. My dad saw an old woman walking on the side of the road, and when he slowed down for her, she took off into the plains at an unhuman speed. Once my kid, why am I struggling?
It's because you're getting spooked, bro.
I know. When I was a kid, my family was at my aunt's house, which is in a rural, secluded area where there was a lot of entity. There was a lot. It felt like it was heavy around there. There was. They would, like, things would make animal noises. When we look into the direction of those noises,
I'm sure they did.
Where they would come or turn a flashlight on and off, the noises would come from all directions, increasing, or they would, like, they'd change directions almost. It was like luring you almost.
Yeah, of course they did.
I was alone one night, and I felt a presence of evil, dread, panic, and paranoia wash over me. And as soon as it was there, as soon as it was gone. Like, it was like a wave. Like, it felt like something went through him. But I thought that was interesting, where it was like, you hear, like, I don't know, you hear those stories of where it's like calling for you, and it's trying to lure you out into the woods. Yeah. That one. That was a little...
It's a nice little cherry on top.
Yeah. That one was rough.
You got another one?
I do have another one. I just don't know. I'm trying not to do a super... Oh, yeah. This one's not super long. Okay. Because some of them are, like, a page long. I'm like, okay. It was neither fully human or fully animal. In July of 2004, near Gallup, New Mexico.
I was 6 years old.
I had my first and only encounter with a skinwalker.
Of course you did.
Before this, I used to say, I believe it when I see it.
I'm shivering out here, dude. I'm terrified.
Well, I'm a believer now. What I saw was not human and not animal. It was not fully either. I was moving and I had just completed cleaning and I was with my 10-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
We had called it a night and were headed to our new place. As we walked out the front door, I saw a figure move from behind my neighbor's car to a nearby tree and stood between our apartments.
Oh, that's horrible.
It didn't have red glowing eyes, snarling teeth, or a rotten smell. It did move more quickly, but not quick enough to avoid the light from a nearby light post and porch lights. It didn't look at me or come towards me. It moved as it was trying to avoid being seen. I was within 15 feet of it, but I did not look back to fully inspect.
Nope. What
I saw was a wolf-like animal that sort of resembled a beast, like in Beauty and the Beast. Like a, just not cartoonish. It had brown fur that completely covered it. It wasn't a pelt. It was a very large wolf. It didn't have any human trace except for it walked on its hind legs. It cowered behind trees, and as we got into our vehicle, when we got in, I asked my son, "Did you see that?" Thankfully, he hadn't. My brother-in-law insists it wasn't a skinwalker because I would have never seen it. To this day, I can picture what it looks like. I know they exist, and I pray I never encounter one again.
Kind of sounds like a Sam Squanch.
Dude, okay, the more I read, a lot of them are dog-like, and they almost look like dog, but then they walk on their hind legs.
Sorry, I had to get those chills out, bro.
So then you think of, like, the Sam Squanch, that maybe they're just, like, more evolved, or maybe they're those. Like, bigger boys.
I
think that's what I'm, like, trying to think of. Like,
I think there's too many people looking for Sasquatch. Or, what else does it call it? The skunk ape? Or, no. The skunk ape and Sasquatch are different creatures, I think.
I have no idea.
Dude, I'm pretty sure they're different creatures. They might be the same thing, like come from the same genus. Origin,
yeah.
But, dude, I used to watch all those shows about hunting Sasquatch.
Well, like, I understand why. Like, you're just kind of wanting to know what's out there. Like, you think
I do and I don't.
Yeah.
I do and I fucking don't.
Well, it's like, I like camping.
Not anymore.
Not as much anymore. But, yeah, it's interesting that, like, all of them are dog. They look like a dog, and then they stand up.
Well, like, what is the most unintimidating creature, supposedly? Like,
well, think about dogs were wild.
Yeah, but also, like, you have a freaking pet golden retriever.
Well, no, like, also, they're massive. People think they're wolves. They don't think they're dogs right off the bat. And wolves you're scared of.
Yeah, that's true. I was talking to one of my coworkers, actually. He went hunting last week, I think. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about hunting wolves, because I guess in Idaho they're a pretty big problem. Like,
yeah, I think you get paid, right?
Yeah. But he said, he pretty much said, good luck finding a wolf. Like, they're very smart. He's like, he's like, I've been hunting since I was 6.
That's crazy.
And I've only seen one.
Dang.
And they're just elusive.
Well, and that might be, think about how, like, they are that smart, you know?
Yeah, that is true.
So why wouldn't you be, or maybe they bred with, I don't know. But wolves are pretty smart. I mean, dogs are smart. They are smart. Sometimes.
They are smart. I also, like, so being around people at work that do a lot of outdoors, like hunting and all that, makes me want to do it a lot.
Yeah. But I'll just have to keep on telling you about skinwalkers, and you might just...
Bro, there's no way you'll do that to me. There's no way you're going to do that to me.
You get the shivers.
No, because I'm not going alone.
Well, I'm not going with you.
That's a weird.
You can take the cat.
Bro, what is he going to do?
Dude,
What is our cat going to do?
Dude, he'll be at least a good little appetizer.
Yeah, I'll just I'll trip him.
Or honestly, a main course. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy.
But
so Skinwalker Ranch, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of UFO. There was like a ton of cow mutilations, like a lot, and they were not like ripped apart. I saw one where I think it was during the time of the NIDSCI. NIDS. CI. NIDSCI.
Nitsky.
They, underneath theirs, they had a cow that they, like, it happened, like, it didn't always happen at night. Like, it happened in the middle of the day. Within an hour of seeing the cow healthy, alive, everything, within the next hour they ended up finding it just like mutilated and dead. So it wasn't anything, like, not in the middle of the night or anything. Just
in the middle of the day.
Yeah, which I think is even weirder.
That is really weird.
And you had all this technology and you just didn't see it, like, unless somebody inside is like messing with you.
Yeah, and like an hour is honestly like a relatively short amount of time.
For a cow? Yeah.
For anything.
For anything, yes. Like, I mean, a cat maybe.
I don't know. Like, on scale growing up, you think an hour is like, oh my gosh, that's so long. It's going to take
dude, now it's like an hour. I'm like, oh my god.
An hour passes and you're like, what the fuck?
I know. Like, okay. And that's it.
Yeah, that's the whole hour?
Yeah. But Skinwalker Ranch.
What else?
Check it out on Netflix
what are your first instincts here? What do you think?
I think there's obviously something going on. I think with a lot of history and a lot of sad history, a lot of death, a lot of things can come up. Mm-hmm. And manifestations. I think that, skinwalkers would make sense to help protect them from, like, back in the day. Like, you would need protection. You didn't have the same kind of weapons and stuff like that we do now. So you would put your faith in your faith, and try to help with that. And if you're going to just let it go, it's going to stick around. If you don't put it back on, if you don't put the lid back on, what do you expect? It's just going to spill everywhere.
Yeah.
But
honestly, true.
But the UFOs and stuff, I was like, I could have gone, I guess, more into that. But at the same time, there's no hard evidence.
Yeah. And that's like the thing when we're researching all this stuff. Like, you look at one thing, you want to research one thing, but then this opens up so many other doors that you can kind of look into.
Yeah.
Which just become ideas for later on.
I know. And I think it was mostly because I think I looked up spooky things are in Utah, or I saw Skinwalker Ranch popped up and I was like, oh, cool. So then I kept on looking up Skinwalker, but Skinwalker Ranch kept on coming up. And I think it's just because the show has just come out in the last few years and all that kind of stuff. But firsthand accounts were mostly reservations, which also that's what I've seen a lot of, like, videos and stuff about them, is a lot of it's based off reservations, which maybe makes sense because that's like the origin of...
They've been here way longer.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe skinwalkers have advanced in the eastern part of the states and we just don't recognize them.
I don't know, man. It's all pretty scary. Spooky.
Spooky. But what did you think?
Yeah, let us know.
You got chills? No, what did you think?
Oh, what did I?
Yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, that's terrifying. I never liked the idea of skinwalkers because, I don't know, trust issues. And it's just like a skinwalker is a walking trust issue.
It is.
Like, you come home and you think it's your friendly little shih tzu on the ground. Like, oh, what's up, buddy? Turns out to be a murderous killer.
I didn't even think about it, but skinwalkers go all the way to werewolves, right?
I don't know.
They do, and I just forgot about that.
They date all the way back to werewolves?
Well, werewolf is a skinwalker, technically.
Yeah.
So, I totally forgot about that. Dang.
So, like, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a skinwalker.
And
it just terrifies me.
Oh my gosh, they are, because then they're half dog.
And it's weird that all the accounts that you said are
dogs that end up walking off on their hind legs.
that.
Oh my gosh, how did I not just...
Bro, if
I literally
saw that,
just put this together while we're recording this. Oh my gosh.
it could be the same thing.
I think that's where werewolves come from, is they're like a skinwalker. They're what, lichen or whatever?
Yeah.
Like skinwalker?
Lichen.
I don't know. I just get my facts from Supernatural. No, I'm joking. But I can't believe maybe I'll just have to do something on werewolves. But
yeah, you should.
Well, either way, I hope everybody liked this. I mean, this was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it and enjoyed it. It was something different, a little different.
I did enjoy it as well. And if you have any ideas for us, just feel free to shoot them out.
Yeah, share with a friend. We're on all platforms.
We're on all platforms. We're on Spotify, Amazon, where else? We're on Google, Apple. Yeah, we're on all platforms.
But also, if you want to check out our Instagram, we've been trying to post a little bit more so you can see what's going on, or like a sneak peek of what's going to be for the next week, because we release episodes on Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
But our Instagram is Didn't Anyone Mention. No dots, no periods, just all one giant word. And then our email is the same thing, Didn't Anyone Mention @gmail.com. But if you have any ideas,
no apostrophe after the N. It's all just one big word.
We don't know how to use punctuation.
Not here. Not here. In this country. We live in Idaho.
Yeah, we're a bunch of rednecks out here.
Yeah, we don't use punctuation, we use guntuation. I don't know if that made any sense, but here we are. Anyways, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yes. See you later.